finally, the government has made an offer to Hutchison Whampoa to purchase the Grand Lucayan properties. As you know, the Prime Minister made a commitment to not only keep the properties open, but to ensure that the present jobs are maintained as well. More on that in the coming days.
The government seemingly moved a step closer to jump-starting Grand Bahama's limping economy, as Press Secretary Anthony Newbold revealed in this week's meeting with reporters. An offer's been made to Hutchison Whampoa Resort, and while details of that offer remain sketchy, Mr. Newbold says full disclosure will be made when the Prime Minister feels it's the right time to do so. It was back in July that Dr. Minnis spoke of talks to partner with investors and take an equity stake in a group that would ensure the Grand Lucayan is reopened in time for the winter 2018. The hotel's closure has to date resulted in the loss of 1,000 plus jobs, 59% of Grand Bahama's hotel room inventory, as well as business closures and redundancies in the Port Lucayan marketplace. Many have warned that Freeport's tourism sector may never recover if the property does not reopen for at least part of the 2017-2018 winter season. Well, 1 week after making the big announcement, the government's remaining tight-lipped about its hardline immigration policy set to take effect the end of the year. Come December 31st, all illegals will have to pack up and head home, and that's whether they opt to do so voluntarily or by force. While a growing number of people have been critical of the government's no-nonsense approach to the country's illegal immigration issue, others are simply asking for answers to burning questions. For instance, how does the government plan to actually enforce the law? Well, the press secretary on Tuesday revealed that the government's more concerned with what's been dubbed an underground economy.
Illegal immigrants create an underground economy that is unregulated, and so it does not benefit the country as it's unregulated. Nobody's policing it. And so, in the words of one of our colorful radio personalities, it encourages the rise of gangsterism. We don't need any of that. And again, you just add that to the fact that laws of the Bahamas are being broken. And so it's another commitment from Prime Minister Minnis to get this immigration problem under control, and he intends to follow through on it.
Now, it's safe to presume that the vast majority of illegal migrants here are Haitian nationals. When asked if any communication had been made with the Haitian government or embassy here up to this point, here's how Mr. Newbold responded.
What the Haitian government and embassy feels about it, they should feel good that the Bahamas is trying to get its law and order program in place. I'm sure the Haitians don't want anybody being in Haiti illegally. Whatever outreach needs to be done has been done or will be done by the Minister of Immigration. But again, a commitment by the Prime Minister to deal with another one of those vexing problems that's just been hanging around for years. And as I said, governments touch it, fits and starts. It's election time, so a couple people gets regularized. They've done the roundups that everybody roundly criticizes, but someone always backs off. It's a problem.
Immigration Minister Brent Simonet insists that the policy will be carried out as passionately and as humanely as possible and within the law. However, noted Queen's Counsel Fred Smith argues that the country's Immigration Act must be revised to explicitly provide for due process in all enforcement and punitive procedures in accordance with the provisions of Article 19 of the Constitution, as well as the standards established by the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. Well, he's been silent until now, but Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis reportedly finds Progressive Liberal Party Chairman Bradley Roberts' attack on the Health Minister both shameful and disgraceful, but not surprising. Mr. Roberts earlier this week roasted Dr. Dwayne Sands and noted cardiothoracic surgeon for reportedly conducting surgeries while a cabinet minister charging that he had breached a code of ethics. Though acknowledging that such reports are true, Minister Sands made it clear that he did so free of charge for public patients, stressing that he will not allow anyone to die. While standing in his cabinet minister's corner, the PM noted through his press secretary today that the PLP and its belligerent and out-of-touch chairman is placing political grandstanding and cheap shots ahead of saving lives. The PLP, he said, is more concerned about its self-interest than the needs of Bahamians. Dr. Minnis went on to say that instead of the Progressive Liberal Party attacking a fine public servant, it should donate more of its talents to volunteerism. The Prime Minister, meantime, commended Dr. Sands for the devotion to the Ministry of Health and for his commitment to the health of Bahamians and residents, hailing him an exemplary public servant. You're watching JCN News. There's more when we return.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.